5, 6, righty, go.
Mildred, Maud, and Mabel were sitting at their table down at the Taft Hotel, working on a plan to catch themselves a man to brighten up their lives a spell.
I slept with a whiffin' poof at the Taft Hotel.
In their 30 years of proms, never once had they had qualms that could fail to satisfy their craving, nor ever seem to doubt it's not reckless to hold out for a son of old New Haven.
These women should have all gone to therapy.
And as they down their Poust Cafe, I've been here 4 years and I still don't know what Poust Cafe is.
The girls were heard to softly say,
I want to welcome all of you fathers to Father-Daughter Weekend. You dads look younger every year. Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Mr. Stewart.
though we had our chances with overnight romances, the Harvard and the Dartmouth mail. And though we had our bunches, till from Princeton Junction, we're saving ourselves for Yale.
Hi, I'm Susie Friend, co-coordinator of Father-Daughter Weekend, and I am so delighted that all of you fathers are here with us. First of all, on behalf of the college, I would like to thank Holly Kaplan's father for his generous gift of 2,000 slightly damaged velveteen bows. They're terrific! I'm sure they'll come in handy. Tomorrow night, Mrs. Plum has promised to play for us the White French and Nuthat tapes, which she got on her annual birdwatching trip. And now, for our favorite house mother, Mrs. Plum.
Oh, stop. Oh, welcome, fathers! This weekend has always been, for me, the highlight of the spring semester. My junior year, my father stopped attending Father-Daughter Weekend. You see, that year, my birder classmate Ada Grutter and I had decided it was too dangerous for young girls to go on long bird-watching trips unprotected. So I wrote home, asking for money to buy a rifle. Gentlemen, please don't stop me if I go on for too long. Oh, my father was appalled. He thought firearms did not provide an appropriate pastime for young women, and he feared I might be labeled eccentric. But I bought the rifle. Ada and I set up a firing range on Upper Lake where we reenacted the Franco-Prussian War. For 2 years. I received notes from home saying, "Please, Mary Hoyt Plum. And can't you teach bird watching at the high school?" Finally, being a dutiful daughter, I obeyed. Now, if you'll follow your daughters into the date parlor, we can begin the dance.
In the growth of tradition from the time of its founding by Mary Lyon to the present day, the college continues to believe that the acquisition of knowledge of itself is not enough. Indeed, employers of graduates of the college seem to be looking for a readiness to work hard at learning unfamiliar techniques.
Muffet, this package just came for you.
What's this? For my Muffet, I can't bluff it. An Easter bunny for my pixie honey.
Is that from Susie Friend?
Oh, Christ, no, it's from her father. Look, it's signed Levins E. Cortland Kippy Friend. Oh. He was behind me in the bunny hop at the Father-Daughter Weekend. Oh. Layla, do you think I should plan to marry Kippy Friend? No, it's 2 months before graduation, and I still don't know what I'm going to be doing next year. But I am prepared for life. I can fold my napkin with the best of them. Layla, do you want this? I'll give it to Holly. She'll eat it.
I told my father not to come up this year. Actually, he came up freshman year for Father-Daughter Weekend. He spent the whole weekend dancing with Katie and telling me how nice it was to have such a great friend like her. Katie kept telling him that I was the prettiest and the brightest one here. Ever since then, I've made it a point to be busy doing research every Father-Daughter Weekend. Oh, I cannot wait to get out of here. I've booked a flight to Iraq the day after graduation.
Really? Layla, that's odd. No, you're very odd.
I won a fellowship.
God, Layla, that's so good. No, Pink Heads is leaving right after graduation also.
Oh, Lay. If he calls, please tell him I went away for the weekend. We got into another fight yesterday.
What happened?
Nothing. Well, he told me that next year he wants to work his way around the world on a freighter. And I tried to seem like, sure, that's nice. Have a nice trip. Send a postcard. I don't understand why when Samantha meets someone, suddenly she's pinned, and when I want someone, suddenly I'm being clutchy and putting too much pressure on them. I don't want commitment. I like being alone.
Me too.
Layla, where do women meet men after college? No, does Merrill Lynch have mixers with Time Life staffers at the General Foods Media Department?
I don't know who I'm going to meet in Iraq. Katie thinks I'm escaping. I think I just want to live in a less competitive culture.
Why does Katie bother you so much?
Excuse me?
I can't understand why Katie bothers you so much.
She doesn't. I like Katie. She's exceptional.
Katie has no hips.
It could be social Darwinism. Katie could just be a superior creature.
Pink Pan says you're prettier than Katie.
Whenever I'm in the library studying, I look up and I count the Katies and the Laylas. They're always together, and they seem a similar species, but if you observe a little longer, the Katies seem kind of magical, and the Laylas are really competent. And they seem such good friends, really the best, but sometimes I secretly find myself wanting that when we leave here, Katie and I will just slowly stop speaking to each other. The thing is, it's not even Katie's fault. I wonder if it's so normal for a 20-year-old woman to be so constantly aware of another woman. It's just thoughts of a dry brain in a dry season.
Miss Plum thinks about Ava Grutter often.
And even if we did speaking, she wouldn't even notice. And if she did, she would just think she's a bad person for one day. I just want to get out of here so I'm not with people who know me in terms of her.
Layla, come out with me tonight. I've always wanted to do this. We can go to a bar, not sleazy, but also not a place that two nice girls usually go. And we'll sit down alone, just you and I, with our two Brandy Alexanders, and we won't need any outside attention. We'll be two uncommon women, mysterious but proud.
All right, I like that.
Yes! Layla, I do understand a little. It's debilitating constantly seeing your worth in terms of someone else.
Mail long distance from Muffet to Nicola. Muffet to Nicola, mail LD.
I'll get that. No, it's fine. It's probably just old Pink Pants. Would you write an overnight slip for me? You see, Layla, I know myself, and as soon as the phone rings, I'm just fine.
A liberal education opens out in many different directions. When intellectual experience is a real adventure, it leans toward the unfamiliar. Students at the college are expected to encounter a wide range of opportunities, that is to say, uncertainties. A maturing mind must have an ethical base, a set of values, and a wonder at the unknown.
I think when we're 30, we're going to be pretty fucking amazing. My mom called me last night and told me she saw a 280-pound woman on the evening news, got her lips wired together, and lives on Fresca. She offered me a lip job as a graduation party.
Pass the fluff.
This stuff is vile. I bet the kitchen helped to come the desserts.
I got something to tell you! I'm getting married to Robert. Samantha! No! Yes! No! Yes! No! We have to bring it to Mrs. Plum! How come Carter eats so much milk and crackers every night and never gains weight?
I throw it up immediately afterwards.
The college maintains that along with knowledge, compassionate understanding is a central human activity.
boring. I was just reading Wittgenstein, and I tried to imagine the film version. I even lit a candle and tried to imagine the film version, and all I could come up with is, you're very weird. See, Carter, you can interrupt me if you'd like. I always thought it was a waste of time to scatter one's energy. I'm not saying you're wasting your time making Wittgenstein films. They're certainly not redundant, and it's a good field for women, but the possibility would never occur to me. Carter, I'm afraid that I'm so directed that I'll grow up to be a cold, efficient lady in a gray business suit. Suddenly, there I'll be, an uncommon woman ready to meet the world with steadiness, gaiety, and a profession. What's more, I'll organize it all with time to blow dry my hair every single morning. Tonight everything feels so programmed. Just once it would be nice to go wake up with nothing to prove. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I didn't work or go to school for a while. If I didn't fulfill obligations or be exemplary, then I really don't know what I'd do. I have a stake in all these uncommon woman expectations. I know how to do them well. I don't mind that you're not chatty. Neither am I. Did you know that I've slept with more men than Muffet or Rita? Really, it's true. I like sex with irresponsible people. It's exciting, like a trashy novel. But I can live with someone irresponsible and gross me out. Carter, I admire you. I really do. Sometimes I think you'll let me into your world, which is more interesting, well, more imaginative than mine. When I'm with Holly or Muffet, I'm congratulating myself on being such a well-prepared grown-up. But I'm always watching myself. When I'm with you, I'm not watching myself. I feel comfortable. Isn't that odd, Carter? You're not specifically a comforting person. Maybe we have that in common. I feel as if I'm under-articulating. I came in here because I just got into law school and I don't think I should go. I don't want my life to simply fall into place. Carter, can I sit here for a while? I'm frightened. Oh, no. That's all right, Pumpkin. I'll just sit here for a while and then go back to work, okay? Why have you typed "now is the time for all good" 25 times?
I'm trying to type fast enough to get out of here and get a good job. Has to be 50 words a minute.
The college places at its center the content of human learning and the spirit of systematic, disinterested inquiry.
Holly, did you ever have penis envy?
I beg your pardon?
Did you ever have penis envy?
I remember having tonsillitis.
Have you, Samantha?
I know I never had it. Roberts is the first one I ever saw. I didn't even know men had pubic hair.
How big was Roberts? Holly, don't fall asleep. This could be our last chance to accumulate comparative data. We're graduating in 2 more weeks. Now, I remember Thomas's was around this big. That's small to medium with a tendency towards tumescence. And Ike's was around this big, but it was curved, so you can't trust my estimation. In fact, if I can remember, all the other ones were kind of average. Except for Blaze. His really did stand out. It was the biggest I ever saw. Except it was just like him. Large, functional, and waspy.
You know, I knew a boy at Columbia who had 3 balls. He came to see me freshman year because the psychiatrist said I wouldn't mind.
Did you sleep with him?
I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Holly, you're such a mealy mouth.
I didn't care. In fact, if you want a rundown of every flaccid appendage in the Ivy League, I can give you details.
Well, I've never been with an impotent man.
You haven't lived.
Listen to this. This is from Chip Knoll's new book, Women, My Issue. Chip has concluded, and I quote, "The discovery at 4 months that a girl is castrated is the turning point in her journey. At 14 months, little girls' fingers and pacifiers are inserted into the vagina. At 15 months, a girl baby has been known to fall asleep with her genitalia on her teddy bear. And at 16 months, they start using a pencil."
Oh, don't little boys use pencils? No, they write with their penises. But don't men have breast and womb envy?
Well, if they have it, they just become creative or cook dinner every now and then.
Hey, you know, I envy men. I envy their confidence. I envy their options. But I never wanted a fleshy appendage, especially a little boy's. Whenever I get fat, it's disgusting because it looks like I have one in my pants. Katie, this is ridiculous. The only people that have penis envy are other men.
You mean it's all those appendages compensating for being small?
Yeah. Well, I know I wouldn't want one because then I couldn't have Robert's. What time is it?
2 a.m.
I have an art history final in the morning. I gotta go.
Good night, Pumpkin. Holly, do you think I have penis envy?
Katie, gross me out.
No, really. For me, it's entirely possible.
You don't have it.
You don't have what?
Nothing. Rita, what's the matter?
I can't sleep.
Rita, what's wrong?
Well, I keep having recurring let's make a deal dreams, and my future is behind the curtain, and the audience is screaming at me, no, take the box, no. Anyway, I went to New York on a job interview yesterday, and it was for one of those, I'm graduated from a 7-sister school, and I'm publishing jobs.
Did you get the job?
I did very well at the interview. I told the interviewer I liked Virginia Woolf and Thackeray, and that I wanted to assist and edit beauty hints. I told her yes, I thought it was very important for women with a husband and family to write beauty hints.
Did you get the job?
Holly, don't be so result-oriented. Anyway, at the end of the interview, she told me it was delightful. I told her it was delightful. We were both delightful. Anyway, she walked me to the door and said, "Tell me, dear, do you have any experience with the Xerox machine?" And I said, "Yes, and I've tasted my menstrual blood."
Rita, you didn't really do that, did you?
I did. Holly, I can't go to one of those places. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's not going to be that. I refuse to live down to expectations. I can't just throw my imagination away. Actually, I do have a new fantasy that helps me deal with my future. I pretend I'm a Picara in a picaresque novel, and I'm only living one episode in a satiric life. Hey, pumpkins! Let's go down to the candy machine and see how much weight we can gain in one night!
All right. I should do one kinky thing before we graduate.
No, I have work to do.
And when the candy machine is empty, I'm finally gonna write my novel!
Hello, could I speak to Dr. Silverstein, please? Oh, hi. My name is Holly Kaplan. I met you last summer at a museum with my friend Muffet. It was the Fog Museum? Oh, that's all right. I never remember who I meet at museums either. What's new? I'm not quite certain what I'll be doing next year. I'm having trouble remembering what I want. My friend Katie says I'm too diffuse. You'd like Katie. She's basing her life on Katharine Hepburn and Adam's Rib. She didn't tell me that, but it's a good illustration. No, I haven't been back to the Fog Museum this year. My brother goes to Harvard Medical Business and Law School. Maybe I'll move to Philadelphia. Do you know what the expression "good God devened" means? It means someone who devened or prayed right. Girls who good God devened did well. They married doctors and go to Bermuda on Memorial Day weekends. These girls are also doctors, but they only work part-time because of their 3 musically inclined children and weekly brownstone restorations. I think Mount Holyoke mothers have access to a did well list published annually in New York, Winnetka, and Beverly Hills, and only distributed on high holy days and Episcopal bake sales. I'm afraid I'm on the waiting list. You were on the waiting list for Johns Hopkins. I have a good memory for indecision. My mother says doctors take advantage unless you're thin. And then they want to marry you and place you among the good God devened. She says girls who have their own apartments hang towels from the windows so the men on the street know when to come up. My friend Alice Harwich is becoming a doctor, and I've never seen her enter a strange building with towels on the windows. Of course, she's a radical lesbian. Oh, sorry to have bothered you. Hey, maybe you'd like to visit here sometime. It's very pretty in the spring. We could see Emily Dickinson's house and buy donuts. I think about her a lot. And I think about donuts a lot, too. No, I don't write poetry. And I haven't read The Bell Jar. My friend Rita has. I don't know who Rita's basing her life on. Sometimes I think she'd like to be Katharine Hepburn, but Katie has a Katharine Hepburn mark at cornered, and we're all allowed only one dominant characteristic. I'm holding a lottery for mine. Yes, yeah, I guess I do giggle a lot. And I am too cynical. Yeah. Well, I had my sarcastic summer when I was 16, and somehow it exponentially progressed. Layla, she's my nice friend, who's merging with Margaret Mead, says sarcasm is defense. Well, I couldn't very well call you up and tell you to move me to Minneapolis and let's have babies, could I? Well, sorry to have bothered you. Really, I'm fine. I find great comfort in Lay Lady Lay, and one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl. And I like my friends. I like my friends a lot. They're exceptional. Yeah, uncommon women and all that drivel. Of course, they're not risky. I'm not frightened of ruining my relationships with them. Sometimes I think I'm happiest walking with my best. Katie always says she's my best, shredding leaves and bubblegum along the way and talking. Often I think I want a date or a relationship to be over so I can talk about it with Kate or Rita. I guess women are just not as scary as men, and therefore they don't count as much. I didn't mean that. I guess they just always make me feel worthwhile. Thank you. I'm sure you're worthwhile too. If it's all right, I'm not going to tell Muffet I called you. Muffet's the girl who was with me in the museum. Oh, that's all right. Well, thanks for talking to me. Goodbye, thank you. I guess so.
Commencement brings a whole set of new opportunities, as varied as they are numerous. By the time a class has been out for 10 years, more than 9/10 of its members are married, and many of them devote a number of years exclusively to bringing up a family. But immediately after commencement, nearly all Mount Holyoke graduates find jobs or continue studying. Today, all fields are open to women, and more than 50% continue in professional or graduate school. Anyone of a variety of majors may lead to a position as a Girl Friday for an Eastern Senator Service volunteer in Venezuela, or an assistant sales director of Reader's Digest.
So, what are your plans, dear? I'm starting Harvard Law School in the fall.
Oh, good luck, dear. What are your plans, dear?
I'm studying anthropology in Mesopotamia.
Oh, good luck, dear. Oh, and what are your plans, dear?
I'm becoming a security analyst for Morgan Guarantee Trust.
Oh, good luck, dear. And what are your plans, dear? As you know, I'm marrying Robert.
Yes. He's going to become a successful actor.
Oh, good luck, dear. Holly, have you thought about Katie Gibbs? It's an excellent business school. What are your plans, dear?
I'm assuming something's gonna happen to me. I mean, I figure I have 2 months left.
Oh. Good luck, dear.
Well, God knows there's no security in marriage. You give up your anatomy, economic self-support, spontaneous creativity, and a hell of a lot of energy trying to convert a male, half person, into a whole person. And hopping on the corporate or professional ladder is just as self-destructive. If you spend your whole time proving yourself, you just become a man. I just want a space where I can get into my writing. I was gonna marry Clark, but he advertised himself as a houseboy in the Village Voice, and I didn't want damaged goods, so I...
I am so sorry, but we just have run out of time. Thank you so much, Rita. Okay. You are all to be congratulated on your graduation. Oh, and thank you. I certainly didn't expect such an elaborate party for my retirement. I'm so glad to see so many students and faculty and friends. Dr. Ada Grutter, who traveled here all the way from Nagpur, India. So many memories and seasons and teas come to mind. But I thought I'd share with you some recent thoughts. At my last Milk and Crackers at the college, I had an interesting conversation with Kate Quinn, a very articulate young woman who told me somewhat wistfully that she thought that my retirement and the recent student vote to abolish gracious living marked, well, the end of an era. I've seen the world confronting Kate and her classmates expand. The realm of choices can become overwhelming. However, those of you who may know me to be the constant, dutiful daughter of my alma mater and my family may be surprised to know that I don't fear this change for my girls, nor myself. Now, my work here complete, I plan to go on a little adventure. Next summer, I will travel to Bolivia, which is the heartland of ornithological variety on this planet. My dear friend Ada has returned to me, her trusty rifle. So, you see, girls, perhaps even I am in a transition period. Am I cavalier about leaving tea and gracious living? Hardly. You know, as a house mother and teacher, I've often found my work very exciting. But sometimes I grow weary and disgruntled like Emily Dickinson. And I grow tired of the world and find it lacking. But the gentler joys of teas and cherries and, conversation with women friends. And I've made so many good ones here. Have been a genuine pleasure. So, thank you. And goodbye.
A liberal arts college for many women of talent is more important today than at any time in the history of her education.
Women still encounter overwhelming obstacles to achievement and recognition despite gradual abolition of legal and political disabilities. Society has trained women from childhood to accept a limited set of options and restricted levels of aspirations.
I saw Carter's Wittgenstein movie on public television.
Maybe I should have married Carter.
Layla got married in Iraq.
You're kidding.
She married some Iraqi journalist, archaeologist. She gave up her citizenship and converted to Muslim. She can never be divorced.
Oh my God.
Sometimes I thought I was a bad friend to Layla, and other times I just thought she was crazy. Rita, how's your novel coming?
Hey, do you ever have anxiety attacks? I mean, like the ones that give you the shits. I was up until 5 a.m. and then I had this fever dream, and I was back in Cranfield Heights, and my father packed me in the caboose of a Lionel train, and I was driving straight through the fundamentalist church, and all the men were staring at my vagina, singing meow 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 meow, and Marilyn, my shrink, says that I just need to tighten up. So I sleep a little in the morning, watch a little tube at night, and then I think when I finally get it together, I'll start to write my novel.
I don't know, Rita. Maybe I just don't have an artistic temperament like you and Holly. I did see a shrink this year. A friend of Kent's.
Who's Kent?
This guy I was sort of living with. He started objecting to my working late. I guess it never occurred to me in college that someone wouldn't want me to be quite so uncommon. Anyway, I had 4 sessions with the shrink, and I'm all fine now.
You were all better after 4 sessions? You're still an overachiever.
I don't live with Kent anymore. Kent's a lovely, enlightened man who wants to marry Donna Reed. All right, Donna Reed with an MA. I guess right now I'm just focused on my work. Mother, do you really like insurance?
Wallace Stevens was in insurance. You know, when I first took my job, I wondered what I was doing being an insurance seminar hostess. I mean, where was my prince? I guess I just assumed something special would happen to me. Now I live in Hartford, and I go to work every day, and I won't be in the Alumni magazine like you, Katie, at the Justice Department, or Nina Mandelbaum with her pediatrics pulmonary specialist. But I also never thought I'd be supporting myself. I am. Rita, I don't see how you can be strong living off of Timmy. I mean, you're not doing anything.
We're actually suing Timmy's mother for his stocks. Kate, I was actually going to ask you, you kind of need a good lawyer? Timmy's stocks are in his name, but in Timmy's mother's vaults.
Rita, do you love Timmy?
He was going to be my Leonard Wolf. I guess I just wanted to be protected like you, Samantha. Samantha, you have a good marriage, don't you?
Yeah, I guess I do sometimes. I get intimidated by Robert's friends that come by the house, and I think that I haven't done very much of anything important, so he does talk. But Robert respects me. I don't mean to sound like Mrs. Plum, but I'm glad we all got together today. At first, I was a little hesitant about seeing all of you, especially Kate and Rita. I thought you might disapprove of what I'm doing. I mean, I don't live alone, I'm not a professional, and I tend to be a little too polite. But what I'm really trying to tell you guys is Robert and I are having a baby.
That's wonderful, Samantha. Why didn't you tell us?
I mean, it was a little more difficult than telling you we got married. I mean, remember, I ran into the room. Now there are more options, and I decided that I was a little embarrassed to tell you, but I'm very happy.
I'm so pleased for you, Samantha. Really. I even promised to sit for you on election day. It's my one day off. I wonder if I'll ever decide to have a child. I hardly ever think about it, and when I do, I always tell myself there's still a lot of time. I wonder what it feels like when you stop thinking there's a lot of time left to make changes.
I bought the new James Taylor album this week. I played it. I was up until 5 a.m. and I played it, and I thought, I could make a connection between the past and the present and all my friends. And then I heard it, and I was listening to it, and I heard, Harley, I love you, darling, I do. And I thought, how did he turn out all right? All the people that I've talked to are seem fine and are finally going to medical school or found their inner passion through S. I just wish James Taylor did something a little bit more ambiguous.
You know, for the past 6 years, I've been afraid to see any of you because I'm not doing anything specific. My parents used to call me 3 times a week at 7 a.m. and ask me, are you thin? Are you married to a root canal doctor? Are you a root canal doctor? And I'd hang up and I'd wonder, when am I finally going to get out of this transition? You know, I guess I just miss the comfort and acceptance I felt from you all in college. But you didn't seem like you needed it, so I didn't see you.
Holly, I don't want to have gracious living or
tea anymore, but I still want to see all of you. We knew we were natural resources before anyone decided to tap us.
Now, let's make a toast. All right, pumpkins, a toast to Kate Sloffer,
To Robert.
to Rita's novel,
To Wallace Stevens.
to Carter.
I'm glad we decided to get together today, too. I've been feeling a little numb lately. And I know I wasn't like that in college. I mean, you remember a person, don't you? Anyway, especially at those boring meetings, I'd look down and see all the wingtip feet. And I remember Holly saying men write with their penises. And I'm pretty sure many of the junior partners do. And Rita and her novel, and Samantha being a closet wit, and Moffat and her prints. I'm glad we got together today, too. I miss you. And I have to go. I'll get the check.
Oh, we could charge it to Robert.
No, it's all right. I'll take it as a tax deduction. Holly, what are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm making a list of options. And just from today's lunch, I have law, insurance, Mary Leonard Wolf, have a baby, and birdwatch in Bolivia. A myriad of options.
I have to go. Kent says I dawdle. You all have my numbers.
My dad was re-elected mayor of Naperville.
Oh.
My sister is marketing director at Procter & Gamble.
Ada Greta won the Nobel Peace Prize.
She didn't actually. I like to think that she did, though.
Let's go to the movies. My car's outside. Let's go see Cries and Whispers.
Did you hear that Melissa Wex became a Rockette?
No. Timmy says when I get it out of my head and we finally get the stocks, I can finally start to write my novel. I think when I'll be 40, I'll be pretty fucking incredible. And Holly, when we're 40, will be pretty amazing too. And Muffy and Samantha, when we're 45, will be pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.